Welcome to Falls Count Anywhere, where the wrestling ring meets the heart. Hosted by the gentleman Jody Powell, join us as we dive into the latest pro wrestling news and rumors, from the electrifying world of WWE to the inspiring stories of wrestling for Christ. This is your all-access pass to the action, the faith, and the hope. This is Falls Count Anywhere.
Hello, wrestling fans, and welcome to Falls Count Anywhere. I'm your host, the gentleman Jody Powell, and with me, as always, of course, is the mad scientist, Mike Buchanan, deep in the Buchanan Laboratories. Buddy, it looks like the lights are on. You got your lab coat on. What's going on?
Well, obviously, everybody's least favorite Uncle Sam has everything shut down, which has affected me because it's cut my funding. So I've had to outsource my services, if you will, or insource. But I partnered with the Wayne Foundation.
The Wayne, like as in the Bruce Wayne?
Yeah.
Okay. So now I'm curious what you're working on.
He had a friend that he wanted me to build something so he could take with it, or so it could be used by the public. It's a Portabat.
A Portabat? What in the world is a Portabat?
You take it, you find a hole in your backyard, expand your basement, pave in the mountains, and the Portabat will become an instant vacuum for you.
Okay, I'm down with that. Kind of like a little bit like a porta potty, but extended.
Yeah.
The Portabat.
Flat pulls
complete with blue bat water.
Blue bat water.
I like it, man. I mean, everybody can use a bat cave as long as mine comes with the pole, the flag pole.
Those
like optional. The original Batman.
Right.
All right. If I get a flag pole, I'm in. You can install one here at the Dutch's estate.
Well, we'll do that. We'll make you all the prototype like we usually do.
Well, I tell you what feels like a prototype is the booking at the WWE.
No, that's not a prototype. That's
it's a failed experiment.
There you go.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit about that, Mike. I mean, we've got in last week, of course, we had filmed before
Saturday
night's main event. Yeah, so now we know a little bit more about what happened there and what happened on Raw. So let's talk a little bit about it. First of all, I think you mentioned it as we were talking off the air, the fact that there was so much about Drew McIntyre and Cody Rhodes and that whole contract that immediately you knew Drew McIntyre was not going to win that match. And turns out
that was a foregone conclusion.
Oh, yeah, it absolutely was. And once again, poor Drew McIntyre, probably the best talent on the roster, in my humble opinion, is buried without a title and is made to look weak. Without anything to do. Is he going to go after Cody Rhodes again? I mean, how many times are we going to see this? The problem with it is that Cody keeps winning over McIntyre, and if they ever do put him over Cody, it's not going to mean as much because Cody's beaten him like 3, 4, 5 times. They've made him look weak. They've cut him off the knees. If I'm Drew McIntyre, I'm very upset with the way I'm being booked, the way I'm being used, because I know, and he knows, he is absolutely the best talent on the roster, and that includes CM Punk, that includes Brock Lesnar, that includes Roman Reigns, that includes everybody else.
Cena.
It certainly includes Cody Rhodes and John Cena. My opinion, Drew McIntyre should be the face of the WWE, and he's not. And I don't know why.
For the same reason we don't know why the WWE continues to push Jey Uso down our throats.
All right, let's talk about Jey. He lost that match to CM Punk. I know you thought he was going to win it, and we were going to have some
brotherly conflict.
Yeah, some tomfoolery from that. But turns out that Punk wins. Let me give you some thoughts first of all on Jey Uso, because there's some trends that I have noticed since Jey Uso went to become main event Jey Uso and Yeet became a thing. I think he's gotten worse as a wrestler. And I know your opinion of Jey Uso's talent.
It's been no secret.
And you don't have a very high opinion. I think Jey Uso was a decent wrestler. decent. And when he was tagging with Jimmy, I think Jay was the better Uso. I think breaking that team up and pushing Jay in singles was the right move. Here's the problem. Jay Uso completely gets blown up before the match begins. Look, he doesn't have the cardio to be doing a 6-minute ring entrance where he's eating and coming down all those stairs and hopping the railing and climbing the turnbuckle. If you look, when the bell rings, he is sucking wind. He is gassed already. And you can't have a match start by putting in a bunch of rest spots so he can catch his breath from yeeting. And it's worse that he's running it back and we have to listen to it. Listen, I'm so thankful. The one thing that I'm thankful for Raw being on Netflix is that I can move that little bar, or I can hit the little fast forward button, and I can go 3 and 4 minutes and I can hit it again. And they're still doing this in the crowd, and hit it again until we get to the bell. And then Jey Uso is, he's gassed. And that's why, I saw some people saying that Jey Uso may have been under the influence or may have been drunk during his match with CM Punk because of the spots that he missed, the things that he botched. No, I don't think he was. I think he was simply gassed. I don't think he had the energy to do it.
Here's a hot tip that I didn't even think about when you and I were talking before the show. And I hate to say it, but what if he was not only under an influence at the main event, what if he's been under the influence? It takes something to make you that energetic, even if you don't have the cardio to pull it off.
I mean, maybe. Who's to say? I don't know whether he is or he isn't. He has a past of he has DUI arrests and those kind of things. Maybe he was. The energy for that entrance, I mean, I'm sure there's a ton of adrenaline that comes with making that entrance, coming through the crowd. People are cheering and in your ear and patting you on the back. And, you're walking through a crowd of 15, 20,000 people that are doing your thing. It is the hottest entrance in wrestling, bar none. The best, that remains to be seen, but it is the hot. I mean, it's over right now, but that's the only thing that's over about Jey Uso is his entrance. The only thing. Because his wrestling has not been good, because he doesn't have the energy to keep at the level he needs to be in the ring with guys like CM Punk. He just doesn't. If you want to do that entrance, go work on your cardio. Go away for 6 months, come back, cut, ripped, and in shape. And you're not. You're just not. And you're not prepared to do both. So you're either going to have to choose or you're going to have to get in better shape. And I don't want to spend too much time on Jey Uso because I have other thoughts. Because we went on so let's not leave Saturday night's main event. Jade Cargill gets the win over Tiffany Stratton in what was probably her best match. And what did you say about that?
Oh, the bar is set pretty low. So
that's a low bar to be over. But it was her best match over. They squashed Tiffany. It'll be interesting to see how they use Tiffany from this point forward, because she was squashed. Talking about making people look weak, they made Tiffany look weak. And that doesn't bode well for her future in WWE, in my opinion. I don't know what that means. I don't know if there's things going on behind the scenes, but that was not a good look for Tiffany Stratton. And I always thought that she kind of had Triple H wrapped around her finger. I was all for her taking the title, and I have been completely underwhelmed with what she's done with it. And, some of that's not on her. Some of that's on creative.
Oh, yeah.
So Dominic Mysterio, genius, best match of the night, in my opinion, because of the gimmick. I love it that Rusev had Penta in a submission hold and the bell rings, reminiscent of the Montreal Screwjob. And you look over and Dominic Mysterio is ringing the bell. That is comedic and wrestling genius. That's the best booking that we've seen out of WWE in a while. But let's move forward to Monday Night Raw, Mike, because they took that best booking and Leon leaded it. I mean, it was a terrible fumble. Are we really going to have to deal with Dominic and Ray again?
That was my thought when I saw him. I'm like, no.
Oh,
there is no way this benefits anyone.
No, it certainly doesn't benefit a way over Dominic Mysterio. And did you notice the crowd in New Mexico on Raw. 1 minute they're chanting Dirty Dom's name and that chant that they do, and the next minute they've turned on. They didn't know what to do with it. And that's a bad situation for Dominic Mysterio. This is something we do not need. Dominic Mysterio does not need this storyline. We don't need Dom and Ray. Now, I don't know if they're setting up for some, payoff match. I'll tell you what we need. We need John Cena and Dominic Mysterio for the Intercontinental title at Survivor Series.
Right before his final Monday Night Raw.
Because then you could say that the 16-man tournament could be to face the Intercontinental Champion, John Cena.
Yeah, but I don't know. It's an interesting thought. It would definitely have, Dirty Dom's over, but if he beats him, it's going to put him up there.
Yeah.
Him beating Ray, who should be like, I don't know, janitor at AAA or whatever that Lucha Libre nonsense is, flipping, flopping gymnastics. Anyway.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I agree with you on Rey Mysterio. No, we just don't. There are too many good young up and coming stars that they could have pulled out of AAA, for that matter.
Pinto.
Listen, he had a really good match with Rusev and Dominic. I really like what Penta's been doing. I don't think they've used him in the best way, but I like what he's been doing. Now let's get to the real deal here. CM Punk comes out on Raw.
Oh, gee.
And then we have who? Do we have Brock Lesnar come out? No. Do we have John Cena come out? No. Do we have Randy Orton come out? No. We have
not even Roman Reigns.
Not even Roman Reigns. We have Logan Paul. Are you kidding me? You had the perfect opportunity here with Braun Breaker, Bronson Reed, and I know they're setting up for War Games. I get it. Logan Paul doesn't need to be part of War Games. What would have been better is if the two Brauns had come out and confronted Punk in the opening segment. Jey Uso makes that save, right? And then that sets up a tag match. Not having Jey Uso beg CM Punk to let him help him. Oh, by the way, Jey, you've been all about not helping anyone, and now you want to help Punk? It makes no sense. It's a plot hole. Come on. But if they had done that, if Uso had made a save in the opening segment, that tag match makes more sense. And if you want to have a surprise return to set up War Games, hit Brock Lesnar's music. Let him come out during that tag team main event. Then you would have something. Logan Paul does nothing.
Drop Jericho.
Jericho, I think they're saving Jericho for one of two things. Either Cena's last match, I think he could be a surprise entrant into this tournament, or Royal Rumble. I don't think they'll play that card before then. And if they did play that before then, I wouldn't want them to play Jericho with the Vision. Jericho needs to be on his own.
No,
it needs to be him.
Absolutely.
Same with Edge. If Edge is coming back now, Edge I think is more likely to be part of the tournament than Jericho, because we've heard Edge and Cena is the last match for a long time. We'll see. A lot of plot holes, a lot of poor booking. WWE I think had set themselves up pretty well, but then they just jumped off a cliff, and now they're going to have to dig themselves back out again.
Well, speaking about that, when we come back, why don't we talk a little bit of EPW there, JoJo?
Yeah, we got to get back into covering a little EPW from Saturday Night Battleground this past Saturday night. We're going to do that right after the break, fans. Stay tuned. Hello, wrestling fans. The gentleman Jody Powell here, and you may be wondering, where in the world did WFC go? Right here. We're on YouTube, our very own channel at Wrestling for Christ WFC. I want you to open your YouTube app. I want you to click on the search function. Type in Wrestling for Christ WFC, all one word, and boom, That's exactly what you'll see. Smash that subscribe button so you'll be notified when new episodes of Saturday Night Praise and Power Hour are loaded up to YouTube. Also coming soon are going to be exclusive interviews, promos. I might even cut a promo myself. Talk about how Dilly Dollar swings a chair like a girl. All this and more coming up, fans, right here on our YouTube channel. Check it out. Wrestling for Christ, WFC, every episode ever made of Saturday Night Praise and Power Hour, right there at your fingertips. Check it out. Welcome back, fans, to Falls Count Anywhere. And Mike, let's talk a little bit about Ephesians Pro Wrestling Saturday Night Battleground. This past Saturday night, we had an empty arena match where Dustin the Mogul Bogle rented out the Lordatorium so that the arena would be empty, taking away Bam Bam Malone's advantage of being a fan favorite. Took the crowd out of it. And you know, here's the thing about it. The Mogul, Mike, even though he, you know, this kind of a play off of the $1 Million Man, if you will, if you're having trouble picturing what this is, the Mogul is all about the money, all about paying people off. And this is one way that he does it. He rents out the Lordatorium. It's an empty arena match, but that wasn't even enough. So during the match, he tried to pay off referee Hugh. Tried to pay him off with a big wad of cash. But here's the thing. As he was trying to pay him off, Bam Bam hit the Famouser. That money fell onto the mat. And as Hugh was counting the 1, the 2, and then the Mogul kicks out, Hugh's hand happened to slide over the top of that pile of cash, and it went right in his pocket. And the next thing you know, the Mogul's rolling up Bam Bam with his feet on the ropes, getting a 1, 2, 3, and a quick one at that. I don't know what's going on with this referee. I don't know what's going on with the Mogul renting out the Lordatorium. Mr. Kyle didn't even know about it. But I know this. I know Bam Bam Malone's going to deal with it. And in fact, Mr. Kyle's given him a title match, which is great for Bam Bam Malone, but he's going to have to deal with Dustin the Mogul Bogle. And they're going to have to figure out what's going on with this referee that's taking this wad of cash. I mean, you know, with everything going on.
What's that? Is he related to Dangerous Danny Davis? Or
I mean, maybe he is. Hey, maybe he's related to some of these referees and these players in the NBA and that are
NFL
or the NFL that are gambling on this. I don't know what's going on here, man, but it's going to be interesting to find out what's going to go down this Saturday on Battleground. Also, we had Aiden the Dragon finally calling out and getting an opportunity to come after Johnny Lawless. Johnny Lawless, of course, turned his back on Aiden the Dragon, joined the Prophecy. And Aiden the Dragon wanted a shot at Johnny Lawless. Of course, he didn't get one because Lawless is a little too yellow to get in the ring with him. And so he sent his protege into the ring, Cody Gray, a member of the Prophecy. And Aiden the Dragon able to get the win there, but it wasn't the win he wanted. He wants Johnny Lawless, and I think we're going to get that down the line. And then in the main event, my team, the Heartbreak Outlaws. And I might get in trouble for saying that because I know Ryan Hart hates the name the Heartbreak Outlaws. He hates being part of this team. He hates being World Tag Team Champions, but now he is fighting for the titles. Not quite the way HBO wants him to, though, because in this match, they were taking on Retro Dewey Declan, another one of my favorites, by the way, and APOC. And in this tag team match, it came down to Ryan Hart in the ring. Ref got bumped.
No.
And shocking, I know, right? And then Hart grabs a chair, but HBO, he doesn't want to win that way. And so they're tug of warring with the chair, to which Ryan Hart lets go. And HBO, boom, he hit Dewey Declan. and then Ryan Hart throws him out of the ring, throws his own tag team partner out of the ring, gives the chair to Dewey Declan, makes a big loud bump on the ring, and the ref wakes up. He pulled an Eddie Guerrero and got Dewey Declan disqualified. And
of course, I'm tired of Eddie Guerrero nonsense. Anyone that participates in it deserves what they end up with.
Well, here's what they end up with is retaining the tag team titles, much to the chagrin, I guess, of Ryan Hart and the Heartbreak Outlaws. And I'm, again, going to get in trouble for calling them that, but it is what it is. So it'll be interesting to see this Saturday what's going to go down. Saturday night, 6 p.m., Battleground. Tune into EPW right here on Abundant TV. Fans, when we come back, our favorite segment of the show, Finding Tomorrow. Stay tuned. You may feel like floods are coming over you, but there is a rainbow waiting for you. God is there with you. No matter how you got there, God will not leave you. Regardless of the manner you ended up where you are, the one who created you is still with you. Feeling down, look up. Ordered on Amazon, written by my good buddy Mike Buchanan. Christmas gifts, stocking stuffers, or just for you.
Welcome back, fans. As Jody and I always say, our favorite part of our show when we talk about finding tomorrow. And Jody, I thought we might start this by going back to, and I think this will play out later on as we do this, what Jesus said about tomorrow. Now, this was 1980 years or so, but his disciples wanted to know, hey, what's going to happen before you'll come back? And the first thing that Jesus warns about in the Olivet Discourse in Matthew 24, starting in verse 4, is he says that in the last days, many will come. Here we go. Jesus answered, watch out that no one deceives you, for many will come in my name, claiming, I am the Christ, and will deceive many. And Jody, I know you have thoughts about what's been happening along that line. So why don't you share with our viewers?
Well, Mike, one of the things that is kind of bothered me recently is as we have seen our country and our world become very divided. And there's always been divisiveness but it just feels like it's growing, and maybe because it's growing more so in our country. But I think I've seen a lot of what I'm calling not just political division, but theopolitical division. And I think I just made that word up. But what I mean by that is that we're seeing Christians do battle against Christians over politics. You have the Christians on the left versus the Christians on the right. The Christians on the left claiming that we need to just be Christians. The Christians on the right claiming that we need to be Christian nationalists and whatever that is. And I'm not getting into all that, but it's causing a division and it's causing a trend that has really bothered me. And it really has bothered me for a long time. And it comes out of a very famous movement. What would Jesus do? I've always had a problem with that statement. Not from the point of what would Jesus do, not in terms of the context of that, because I think in the original intent of what would Jesus do, there was a true desire to get back to understanding and learning the teachings and the life of Jesus. But here's what's happened. People have taken what would Jesus do and they've used it to prove their political points. They've used it to say, if you're really a Christian, you wouldn't believe that it's okay to deport people who are here illegally. Or if you're really a Christian, you wouldn't believe that it's okay to cut off whatever political point you're using. And we have to be very careful as Christians to think we know what Jesus would say in these situations. Especially in a way to prove a point and to prove ourselves right. Go ahead.
Yeah, you were talking about division and what Jesus says. One of the things that I've seen not recently so much, but over the years is these little memes about what Jesus didn't say.
It doesn't matter what Jesus didn't say.
Yeah. Well, Mr. Johnson, I think you're 100% right.
Tell me why.
Because we have a book full of what he did say. We have a book, to your earlier point, of what he did do. There are very learned theologians, and there are very internet educated theologians too, unfortunately. And that's where we have a problem.
Yeah.
Love your neighbor. Yes, that's what Jesus did. He
Yes.
loved the woman at the well.
Mm-hmm.
Pray for those that despitefully use you. That's what Jesus did on the cross. Father, forgive them. They don't know what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
But, this Jesus did this. That's another movement that kind of, but we probably shouldn't get into that with the time we have left. But that's what it means, Jody, when I said it doesn't matter what Jesus, or why I agree with what, it doesn't matter what Jesus said, is because we know what he did say.
Yeah.
And if we focus on that, we'll be in better shape.
We haven't mastered yet what Jesus did say, let alone worrying about what he didn't say. Now, there is an argument to be made that we need to be mindful in leery of people saying, well, Jesus said this. We should always verify. Not only verify what's said and what's written, but also the context. Because as you and I have both talked about on this show, people will take the Bible and manipulate it, and will pull out one phrase or one verse and say, see, and it be taken completely out of context. It happens in journalism and it happens everywhere. And it happens in this context of theology, where people are trying to prove a political point using theology. And I think that's just a very dangerous thing to do. I think at its core, what we need to be using theology for, what we need to be using the study of the Word of God, is to understand what's being said, not to manipulate it to say what we want it to say. What was said? What was done? And how can we apply that to what's going on in our lives and what's going on in the lives of our neighbors and our friends? And how do we share that in a way that is loving, not in a way that is, ha, gotcha. That's, those are the kind of Christians that cause church numbers to plummet. Those Christians who go to church and judge people for how they dress or what they look like or what they're saying or where they are. I'll tell you where they are. Those people are in church, and they're there because they want to hear the Word of God, not hear what you think about them, not hear what you think the Bible says. They want to learn. They want to learn from someone who's not looking their nose down at them. Jesus said he came for the sinner, not for the righteous. You know what that makes me want to be? Not righteous.
Yeah.
Not holier than thou, not sitting in a church thinking that I know everything that the Bible says and I'm there not to learn, but to tell others what my version of it is. We need to be telling others. We need to stop worrying about what would Jesus do and start worrying about what did Jesus do.
WDJD.
That's where we need to focus. What did Jesus do for me? What did he do for you? What did he do for the whole world? And if we grasp that concept, all of these other things that we're fighting over and that we're battling over become minuscule, because there is a greater, grander, eternal truth to be held. Those are the points we need to prove, not whether Jesus would agree that, the current administration is evil. We live in a time where what we need to be discerning is where our hearts are with our walk with Christ.
Look inward before you look outward.
Absolutely.
That's your hope for tomorrow.
That's how you find tomorrow. You have to start in here. And when you feel like you're in a good spot, when God's leading you to look outward, you're not looking outwardly in judgment. You're looking outwardly in love. That's the difference. Because when you look outwardly in love, you don't have to manipulate the Bible to prove your point.
No. Now, speaking of love and manipulation, our viewers are going to love the class with Jeff Dixon and Chris Whaley.
Coming up
next.
Yes, buddy. Stay tuned. 58. That's how many followers I have on Instagram. So follow me at Gentleman Jody Powell for your chance to win free merchandise. Free is always good.